Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this episode today we are going to be doing part 9 of the VW Polo project, and this is probably going to be one of my longer episodes because I am going to be finding out today and taking you along for the ride as to what's wrong with the horn and re-straightening up the steering wheel, and we'll also sort out the airbag light as well. So we'll get on that now. As I was saying, we've got the steering wheel. In that position, the wheels are straight, so we need to straighten that up. As you can tell, there is no horn. It does not work. When we put the key on, which currently is off, the airbag light comes up and stays on. So the first thing we'll do is we will find the OBD port, which you will find where the radio is there, the gear stick is there. If you open this up, pull this section out here, you'll find the OBD port. I've got my OBD scanner and we'll plug that in to read some codes, nice and firm in there, and we'll put the ignition on so the scanner can do its job. And what I'll do is I will bring you back when I've got my codes displayed on here and show you what they say. Right, so after having the code reader originally cancel out on me, I have managed to find out the airbag fault. Driver's airbag igniter resistance too high, active, static. But whilst I was waiting for this to go through, I have, however, loosened the airbag module, and I'll run through how I done that with you because it's a little bit on the awkward side. So I have removed the cowling from underneath, and I will take you out. I'm going to get out so I can show you that. Basically that goes up underneath there like so. Let's just see if I can clip it back into place temporarily. So that goes underneath there like so, and you've got a T30, this one has a T30 screw in there, a T20 in there, and a T20 hiding down there. So you undo those, pull that off, and then at the bottom, if I turn the steering wheel so it's in that position, you will see at the back, just hiding there, oh, it's not going to show you. No, let me see if I can show you. Literally there is a hole just there where the screwdriver is, and what you do with that, I'll get it out, what you do with that is I will take the airbag out now and I will show you. Basically if I remove this out the way, you will see that the airbag plug either just fell out or wasn't plugged in, so I'm not entirely sure on that. I am going to plug it back in and see if I can think. But that hole on the other side is just there, and what you've got to do, if I get the screwdriver in behind so you can see the screwdriver in shot, you put it in like so and you push up round the groove. See if I can, a minute. So basically the screwdriver goes in nice and flat, you push up and follow the lines of the groove up, and you'll be able to flick the clip out and over, and you'll find that there's a clip on both one side and the other side, and that is corresponding to these clips just here. They're the ones you're pushing out, right? So I'll just get this completely removed and I'll bring you back. I just want to throw a little disclaimer in here as well. Do as I say, not as I do, because I was messing with the airbag thing with the battery still connected. I have, however, now disconnected the battery terminal. We'll just pop that down for now because it's a little bit windy out here. I have also removed the wheel. You won't need to remove the wheel, but that was because I was testing this for power with my multimeter, and I was wanting to diagnose whether the horn was at fault or whether the power circuit was at fault. The power circuit is at fault, and it turns out by moving the steering wheel left and right, I can occasionally get it to blip the horn and occasionally not. So if I push that back on, we know that's back connected again. And like I said, I took the wheel off just because I wasn't aware of whether I'd need to show you guys that or not, but I have tested that with my multimeter, and there's literally 0.02 volts coming through it when there should be a solid 11 volts at least coming through it. I used my multimeter and set it to 20, put the probes in, press the button, and like I said, it come up as 0.02 was the highest reading I was getting. But like I said, moving the steering wheel left to right, I was able to get it to blip the horn occasionally, so I know it's a steering wheel issue. But as we know, there was an airbag issue as well, so we're taking it all apart and we need to realign the steering wheel. So what you need to do is you need to move the keys, lock the steering wheel up, use a 24mm socket on the bolt just there, put that on and crack that loose like so. I've already cracked it loose, it was pretty tight, so I can do that. And then because I've got to realign the steering wheel as well, I'm going to put the key back in to take the steering lock off, reposition it to where the wheels are now straight, which is roughly there. By the time I finish this, I'm not going to be perfect with this, but by the time I finish with this, it's going to be driving much truer than it was. And literally undo. Now I would suggest undo this nearly all the way and then give the steering wheel a yank, because some of these steering wheels can be on this splines quite tight. But this is already, you can see it wobbling. That is going to come off quite easily because it's been off in the past anyway, to have a different steering wheel on there. So hence why we're doing this now, to sort this out. So that should now be able to come off by hand. And there's that. We now can take that off, and we've got it attached to the wiring just down here, which we need to disconnect. And then I'm gonna have a look at this and see if I can test why the horn isn't working on here somehow, but we'll work that out in a little while. I'll bring you back in a minute. So as promised, I've brought you back in, and I believe the way this works is it uses the spline of the steering shaft for one power, like either the that'll be the ground for the horn. This then gives us the positive. That then goes on to and attaches to this ring, which turns with the steering wheel. It is grubby, but it was a lot more grubby than this. It was practically black all the way across. So I've cleaned that up a bit. And I believe where the power comes through is it comes through onto this wire just here. And then the idea behind it is that wire then attaches to the back of the airbag module on that prong there. You've got one pin there, another pin there, and another pin there. This was all corroded, and I've shined all of these up as best I can. They then compress against a point there, a point there, and a point there to make their connection. Again, these, you can see a little bit of black still on there, but these were so black you couldn't see any silver at all, so I've cleaned them up a bit. And then obviously that then goes as an extra ground point, because if I put a multimeter on there and a multimeter on there, that then is supposed to sit underneath the bolt, and just to give a connection between that and the bolt and a good ground in the centre spline, that's where that will ground out to with the actual steering shaft. So also, when I took this off, whenever you get these new clock springs, they always come set with the centre mark. But if you're not too sure of how to check whether it's centred or not, apologise about that, someone come up to speak to me, but it's fine. So basically, as I was saying, if you're not too sure about whether it's centred or not, you'll see that the centre of the wiring, I line up with the centre of the steering wheel, the bottom piece of the steering wheel, right? And the one way to test this is these two holes that we use to pop the airbag out with are good markers. And if I just go like this, I have had to realign this, to be fair. So if we literally just check that it's centered, you go 1, 2, all the way round. Third one should only go to the hole and not any further. You possibly could thingy, but you break it. So the third one should go to that hole. So then if we can go back to there and count 1 and 2, that's now back in center. If we then go 1, 2, third one should come to this hole and no further. And as you can see, it won't go any further than that. So then we then put it back to the center and then go 1, 2. So that's how we know that is all centered up and correct, because we do 2 full rotations and a bit to there, and then go back that bit back and then 2 back to make it center again, then 2 full rotations the other way and a bit more just to get to this hole, and then go back again. So that's how I know now that that is 100% centered, and this harness in here for the airbag is not going to break or cause any problems with stopping us from turning the wheel on or anything. So what we'll do is we'll put this back on now. I have now put that bolt in place, and you've got to make sure this clip here is firmly snug underneath that, and that's nice and tight. I have also, however, put all connections back on nice and tight to the airbag. And what you'll find now, literally, we've just got to line up. Let me see if I can show you. We've just got to line these pins up with these holes. There's one at the top, and then there's, let's see if I can show you. There's one at the bottom. It's there. Put my finger in the way, sorry. It's there, and then you can see the hole just there where it's got to go. So we've got to line them up, and then just basically, once it feels like it's in, give it a whack. And now that's in. Beep beep. Oh wait, horn don't work still. I wonder why. Maybe the battery's disconnected. So what we'll do now is we will reconnect the battery. We'll test to see if the horn is working, and we'll also erase any codes and then see if any codes come back, because that airbag is definitely now plugged in, whereas it might not have been a little while ago. So I'll go and reconnect the battery, and then I'll bring you back. So where I said about reconnecting the battery and I'll bring you back, actually it might be worthwhile me plugging the airbag wiring in first, I think. So let's plug that in first. He says. Get there in the end. Maybe it goes that way. It does go that way. Plug that in like so. Tuck that up there. Nice and neat. It'll go right around the cover anyway. And then we'll go and put the battery on. Right, so in the process of that last, well, where I've brought you back now is we've got the battery connected, we've got the ignition on, we have EPC, battery light, parking brake, boot open, like as you know, but I've still got sort of boot latch out, and the airbag light is on, which is that yellow one just there. I have put the battery on, like I said. I put the wheel back on. I've put all this underneath here back on with the two T20 Torx, and then the one at the bottom is a T30 Torx. I have plugged the scanner back in, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to number 3 on our options and go erase codes, and when I hit that you should see the airbag light flash. Or not, but it does say erase codes commands sent, perform read codes functions to verify. If I do a read codes now, it is going to probably tell me that there's system pass, no faults detected. Another way to check though is for me to go exit, 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 back to my main menu, pull my diagnostics out. We'll then turn the airbag light has now gone out, turn the ignition off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airbag light should come back on. Start her up. Airbag light goes straight out, and also that works as well. Lovely. Turn that back off. So that is going to be the airbag and horn repair video concluded, and also part 9 on the VW Polo. Pretty much going to leave that here because also I hope you don't mind me cutting in and out as much as I have, but I've been trying to save as much time as possible so the video doesn't become too long, and I hope it was informative for you guys. So if you like my content, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions regarding the Polo or anything else at all whatsoever, leave a comment and I'll answer it as best as I can. And if you like what you see on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you ring the bell icon though, you'll be able to get all the notifications of any videos I upload. And I'm not entirely sure what the next plan is with this, because I was going to be taking it for an MOT and possibly giving you MOT results as the next video, but I think I may have to leave it here for now and move on to the next project. So I might do the boot lock in the video, I'm not too sure yet, but I haven't looked into what's going on with that yet. But yeah, so as I say, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and thank you very much for supporting my channel, everyone of you guys that are supporting it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.